Am I the only one that's looking around me and looking online, seeing that everything is fake and feeling that everything is just not real? It's all just fabricated to please the algorithms rather than to actually help people. This is what we're seeing online. Am I the only one that kind of looks at that? It's like that's what I kind of feel is going on right now in the world today. Everything just feels so fake and it just feels so like there's no feeling, there's no meaning to anything that you see online in this internet cesspit. And dead internet theory becomes and looks more and more real every single day. If you don't know that video, you should probably give it a watch when you're done watching this. But join me today as in this episode of the 365 podcast, I'm going to kind of dissect it and go over what's happening and like why we feel this way. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way, where the world is just, it just all feels fake and everything just feels like it's not real. Like we're all desensitized to everything. So join me as I explore these concepts and I hopefully try and find an answer of what the hell we're supposed to do with our lives. So welcome back to the 365 podcast. I make a podcast episode every single day for 365 days. You will be hated for speaking the truth.
You definitely have like an X-ray goggles on where you can see someone's aura.
A house divided against itself shall not stand. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25.
If you want to make something of yourself, forget your political beliefs.
Because different believers experience God in different ways, different non-believers need different explanations to see God as real. Things that make you angry suck you in.
Satan's plan fails, right? And God's plan prevails.
So not for the first time in the last couple of weeks, I was just going through, looking at YouTube videos, and just checking, like looking for something fun to watch, right? And I'm just looking at all of this crap, and it's like, oh, how I made all of this money, or oh, how I did this, or some crazy theory, it just feels so fake. I don't know what it is. It just all feels like it's just a perfectly curated thumbnail and title, and it's like made on purpose to keep you hooked and to suck you in, but it doesn't actually, like, it's not actually anything that I'm interested in. And I watch a lot of YouTube. YouTube should know what I'm interested in and what I would want to watch in theory. But I'm looking at all of this and I'm just looking for a video to watch, and I'm like this all just looks fake. It all just doesn't feel real. And it's like you see it all over in the world. Like it's like we're literally about to start a war in Iran, and like it seems as though like no one really cares. Like I see podcasts talking about it and saying that it's a good thing and that this is like some crazy 4D chess type of thing that's happening with this whole Iran situation. That's obviously not true. I'm not backing that at all, right? But I'm seeing this, and it's like I look at it and it's like, does no one care? Like I know the narrative that it's like, oh yeah, after every big piece of news, like it goes through a news cycle for a few days and then people forget about it. But this is crazy because like we're talking about like the potential end of the world, and we're talking about like just an incredible level of just hurt and violence. Like, the Ukraine and Russia conflict is still going on. The whole Israel-Palestine thing is still going on. The whole African murders and martyrs in the Congo and in Nigeria, that stuff is still going on. It doesn't just end because this new conflict's come up, but nobody's talking about those things. And even about the Iran situation, like I'm looking at it and I'm seeing like it doesn't feel real. Like it doesn't feel like this is actually what's happening. But it is happening. And it's just like, it just flabbergasts me. It's absolutely insane. You have people justifying it. You have people that just don't really care. And you have people that have already moved on. And then you see like a crazy video talking about like the historical significance of it. And it's like, what the hell are we doing? Like we're at risk of war. And it's like, no one cares. Like, if we were to be called to go to the military, most people would just like not care. And that's kind of where we're at, right? As a Western society, it's like no one cares about their country enough. No one really knows the severity of the problem or understands the severity of the problem, and everyone's just lost their sense of morality. They've lost their sense of like sensitivity. That's what desensitization means. It's like, we've seen so much BS. We've seen so much violence in recent years that like we just don't care anymore. It's just another thing. They bombed a school of children. It's just another thing. But that's how it feels. Like I don't think that way because I'm a Christian man. I pursue God, and I know based on the morals and principles of the Bible, which is the one truth, especially in a world full of lies right now today. And I'll get maybe more into that in further into this episode. But I'm reading how like, yeah, like this stuff hurts me, right? To see all these people get hurt in this way. But then to see other people just not care makes it even worse. Because what type of a world are we living in? Where literally it just doesn't feel like anyone cares about anything at all. And we literally have seen so much of this stuff that we now don't care. We are desensitized fully. And like, I guess I sometimes have a level of that. And I guess that's why sometimes I find that I'm scrolling looking for a video and it all just feels fake. But like, we can't really discern what's fake and what's real anymore. Like, AI has had a part to do in that, but it's still like the AI is not that developed yet. Like, you can still pretty much discern AI from reality for the most part. Maybe in a few years that'll actually those lines will start to get way more blurry. But as of now, it's still possible. But you see like all this fake stuff online, and you see the real news that you have real bombings in countries, foreign countries, and real conflicts that might actually start up, and like, it's not an unrealistic thing to say that the world might be destroyed in a couple years. But no one cares about that. Like because there's so much that's fake, when something actually real and tangible and disturbing comes up, it's kind of treated the same way. And this is like the world we live in. And I sit here and I just look at things and I'm like, is this real? Like what is happening? Like, Trump endorses Jake Paul for president. Is this is this really happening? Like, what are we what are we doing? Right? You got like looks maxing and guy freaking hammering his jaw just to make his jawline more crisp. It's like, are we like, is this really happening? Or is this just some crazy, is this some crazy simulation? Or is this just like some fever dream that isn't real? But I'm alive. Like, I feel myself. Like, I look at myself, or I fix my hair like 10 times an episode, maybe longer. So like, I feel myself. I'm here, right? I'm alive. This is not a simulation. This is not fake. Like, some of these things are actually happening. Like, you actually see these things happening. But I think really the biggest problem is that the internet has just gotten so filled with fake content and fake people that are just trying to do things for views and optimize it for the algorithm, not actually making good content, that it leads to nothing feeling real. So you can't, it's now blurred the lines between what's fake and what's real, because so many people are fake. But when something actually real is happening, we're all desensitized to it. We don't even recognize it as being real. And you have people the fake people, like playing it off, like the Iran situation. It's like, okay, I personally am of the belief that if you follow politics, you're wasting your time. That is a belief system I truly hold. So I am not really fully following. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm going to be vulnerable here. Like, I'm not really fully following the full extremity of the situation. But I look at it from the perspective of, you have a war going on. You have bombings going on. They're preparing to get boots on the ground in this place. And it doesn't feel like anybody cares. And I feel like, given the circumstances, people should care. Like, is it crazy for me to think that? Or am I just crazy because, like, oh, people actually do care and I'm just not seeing it because I guess the algorithms are only pushing the other stuff? That could also be the case. I'm not ruling that out entirely. But based on what I'm seeing, I watch a lot of podcasts. I'm seeing how podcasts that used to be good podcasts are now kind of becoming just, like, for lack of a better term, propaganda. The same way that when podcasts are blowing up, they were rightfully so criticizing the mainstream media as the propaganda. Now it feels like the podcasts are moving into a propaganda type of state, where again, it's like, now nothing's real. There's nowhere where you can really go to trust anyone of their source. Like, I watched Joe Rogan and Pierre Poilievre podcast, which he uploaded a couple days ago. It was like the first Joe Rogan episode I watched in like months, because I'm only the type of guy that watches it when it's a guest that I like or that I know. So I watched that, and it's like, I look at it, it's like, Pierre said all the right things. Like, I'm Canadian, so as a Canadian, like, it concerns me to a certain degree, as much as I don't really care about politics. Pierre said everything that he needed to say. Like, he went on there and articulated himself well, and talked about the things that like he didn't really say much wrong in terms of his plan, in terms of like the theory of what would work to make the country a better place. And in terms of what his goals are, he didn't really say a word wrong. Like, he didn't really put a foot wrong. But I just look at it and it's like, it just doesn't feel like he's authentic. Like, he said many of these things in the past, and then he lost the election for many reasons, right? And I look at it, it just doesn't feel authentic. I hope it is, but like it just doesn't feel like, first of all, it doesn't feel like he's ever going to be able to do it even if he wanted to, because we know how bad and how deeply rooted the bureaucracy in the system, the government system really is. But even if, like it's either he wants to and he won't be able to, or he's just saying it so he can get elected, so he can be a part of that system and he can just pocket the cash and have that power and abuse the power like everyone else. Like, I don't really know, and you can't really know, but I just kind of have that internal instinct, that internal feeling that's like, it just doesn't feel like it's real. Like, it doesn't feel like what he's saying is what's actually going to happen. And, like, he's, like, whether or not he wants to try, or it's just him trying to, him using his voice in political deception, only time will tell. But I don't feel like any of the things that he's planning and he talks about, although he said all the right things, it doesn't feel like they're actually going to happen. And it doesn't feel like it's actually real. And that's not criticism of Joe Rogan. I think he's cool, but I think it's a criticism of podcasting. It's a criticism of the internet, that it's just kind of created this culture where everything just feels fake, and what used to be independent podcasting and used to be independent, now they're probably bought in some way by other people and by whoever runs the system, whoever runs these things. So me being a guy that just has like a small little show that only 10 people will watch, maybe on a good day like a couple hundred, but definitely not anywhere near as large of an audience as many of these big guys. I guess I can have like the freedom to say what I want to say because I don't have the popularity, so no one really cares. So no one's gonna like take my stuff down, basically. So basically, it's like, when the 365 days are done, I might just literally go ghost and not do anything else. But these episodes will be out there, and you'll get to see like, my life, my autobiography, even like stories of myself, my testimony for my faith in God, and like opinions and things that I have, and how I've grown and been shaped from day 1 to day 365 type of thing. And it'll all be out there, and maybe no one will ever find it again, but maybe someone does find it, and then, well, whatever happens, happens. But the point is, it's like, because I'm like a smaller creator, I can kind of have the freedom to express my opinions on these things. It just the fact that it doesn't feel real, like it all just feels fake. And it's like, you don't really know who's on the side of good, who's on the side of evil anymore. And yes, I think the Bible is the ultimate truth, and the Word of God is the ultimate truth that a lot of us need to move back to, because we've all fallen into these crazy things. We just need to be moved back into some semblance of normality. And I think like following the teachings of Jesus Christ, I think, is like step 1 to that. It's not the end, because there's so much more that needs to be done to fix the state of the world right now. But I think that is at least step 1, getting more people to open up the Bibles, understanding the teachings, and truly living their life to glorify God. And I think the more people do that, the more we can be unified in this way, the better the world will become. Because honestly, with all the fakeness, the one thing that stays true is the Bible. It's been the same thing. As much as people like to criticize the textual changes, it's actually like pretty accurate in comparison to the translation from the original texts. So, and also I read a King James, so King James is actually probably more accurate than the modern ones. So the point is, it's like that stuff hasn't changed. Whereas you see everything online in the internet today, things change and people flip-flop back and forth with different opinions, and like it's all just one big facade, it's one big game. It feels like it's just one big fake ball of a mess that we as a population, as the average person, are just a part of, and we're just sucked into it, and most of us don't even realize that. So hopefully me, at least at the very minimum, talking about it on this very admittedly small show that I have, hopefully me at least talking about it and bringing this kind of situation to light is going to help some people understand like the true severity of these situations, and that it's probably better for you to just get off of the internet entirely and focus on the relationships with the people around you, so that you can slowly regain that sensitization. You don't want to be desensitized to stuff, like, because it's like you don't want to be overly sensitive. Like, you don't want to look at everything from like the Christian lens. Like, you can understand how sometimes that can get a little bit too much. Like Like, and you can be a little bit too pushy. Like, you see people like that they're like, they're faithful Christians and they're followers of God, but then, sometimes they go a little bit too far on things, and it's like, all right, like, this one is not going against God. Like, I think an example of that is like certain music. I think music's a good example of that. Like, sometimes music is terrible. Like a guy like Playboy Cardi, I don't even mess with anymore at all, because I think that just gets a little too bad. But like, just common like rap where they talk about like women and sex and stuff. Some people go too far and they say, "Oh no, you should just not listen to it at all." And that was maybe me for a little bit. And even now I don't really listen to that stuff as much anymore. But I still think, like, if you want to listen to it, right? It's like, it's not going to defy you. It's not going to take you away from your salvation. Like, I think sometimes we as Christians can also go a little bit too far. So you don't want to be overly sensitized. But we definitely need to kind of, as a society, learn and understand the severity of the situations that are going on more so that we can, like, be able to come to some sort of a collective agreement and conclusion as to how we're going to move forward. Because like this, it's only a matter of time. It's unfortunate. I like to be positive. I like to look towards the good, and I like to think that the future does look bright. I like to think that there is a positive aspect to the future. But I think if you're just looking purely at the state of the world, in a few years from now, like it's just going to be worse. It's not going to get better. It's just going to be worse, or something crazy is going to happen, and then finally people will be woken up because it starts to actually affect their own lives. It's not just stuff that is seen online. It starts to affect their own lives. That's probably the biggest thing that will cause people to wake up and stop being desensitized and truly, like, go out and stop fighting over stupid garbage, and instead go and pursue greater life and a greater future for society. I think me just talking about it hopefully can bring some light to these things and to these issues that are going on. But the main point of this episode is it's like it does all just feel fake. It all just doesn't feel real anymore. And it's hard because some of it is real, and the real things, some of it is real. And the real things, it's hard to determine what is real and what is not. And that is like the biggest thing, I think. It's like, that's why you see podcasts and people talk about all this crap, and it's like I actually, like, really probably should just stop watching podcasts, even in, like, the self-help. Like, okay, we can talk about, like, the political side, the Iran situation, the Epstein situation, and how it feels like people have just forgotten about it, right? Like that's kind of where we're at as a society, as a people. Like, and that's kind of, I think, the thing. Is it's like, until it affects you directly, you're never going to actually, like, care, right? You're not going to care about anything until it actually affects you directly. So that's why you got people protesting about these stupid things to be protesting about, and literally fighting in protests because like I think that happened in Canada. I don't know where it was, but I think it was somewhere in Ontario. They were doing a protest, and some guy pulled out a gun or like threw a bomb or something like that and killed someone, and then was about to throw another one, and then the police, like, tackled him. Like we're really fighting over things, like, so small in comparison to the fact that, like, this world, like, we need the world to be better. We need to pursue the good every day, and so many people are so far away from doing that. And again, just going back to, like, the desensitization, the not caring type of thing. Like, it begs the question, like, why would you go out and do good when you see all of this evil? I think the answer to that is not only because that's what God calls us to do. It's also just because, like your life will be better as well if you pursue the good, and the people around you's lives will be better if you pursue the good, pursue helping others rather than kind of just sitting there doing nothing, right? Which seems to be what a lot of people are doing. So the whole, like, desensitization thing is, it's like until it affects you, it's not going to matter, right? And it's like, I understand it, right? Like, me as a Christian, I understand how bad it is, but I also understand from the other perspective that it's like, yeah, why would you care about what's happening in the Middle East? Because it doesn't affect you. But the problem is that in a couple of years it might, right? And I think you want to try and stop it from happening in any way that you can as an individual person. And the more people we can get to, like, just strive to do better and to pursue the good, the more the good can truly overpower the evil that exists and the evil people that exist in this world, that unfortunately there are. And like, it's not going to be down to the internet. It's not going to be down to watching some like self-help thing. And I mean, yeah, like self-help, it's even worse. It all just feels like this whole like, philosophical, psychological like perspective on things doesn't feel like it actually gets you to the answers of life. Like, the whole point of philosophy is to try and figure out like the deep questions to like the meaning of life and all this stuff. Like, my perspective is like the whole point is that you're not supposed to be answering those questions. Our brains cannot wrap our heads around those answers. As much as people try, we still don't have an answer, right? But the point is, like, all of these things, it just feels like there's no direction. Like, it doesn't feel like self-help is actually helpful anymore. It doesn't feel like self-improvement is actually like good advice anymore for how to do better. Like, where like you don't just see, hey, get up, go to the gym, strive to do better, find some discipline, some consistency in your stuff. You see it sometimes because, of course, you still have like the David Goggins influence type of thing, right? And like that type of side that still exists, but it's like now it's just some crazy like deep concept. And I like, does it have to be that deep of a concept, or can it just be start by getting up early in the morning, start by going to the gym every day, working out every day, eating a healthier diet, start by like donating a portion of your wealth to other people, helping other people in as many ways as you can, serving others, dedicating a life to servitude rather than taking for yourself and being selfish, or just kind of sitting there doing nothing, which is kind of what the internet wants us to do, is to just sit there, do nothing, look at Twitter, be like, whoa, and then just keep going. Like that's how it is. It's just like you look at it, it's like, whoa, Trump endorsed Jake Paul for president? Damn, bro. And then you just keep going. Like, it doesn't feel like it doesn't even feel like we enjoy it anymore. It's just, we are just trapped. Like, we are just a slave to all of these feelings and all of these powers that are pulling us in so many different directions. So as a result, that's probably why we're all desensitized. That's why it all feels fake, because it is just now like an automatic thing. We're just slaving away, scrolling away, wasting our time. Or if we're trying to find a good video to watch, we actually want to watch something worthwhile, there's actually nothing out there because it all just feels fake and it feels like a load of crap. And that's not true, right? Like I've watched, like if you can find it out there, like Tony Robbins is always, I think, a very good, like he always has a very good message. And I think that's my personal opinion, but I think guys like him always have a good message. And he does interviews all the time. He does stuff like that. Even that sometimes doesn't feel real because he only comes on and does podcasts when he's like promoting his Unleash the Power Within event, right? Or his he has another event that he does that he comes around and he promotes, but he goes on podcasts. But still, in the podcast, he gives out good wisdom and good words of kind of advice as to like kind of how to find meaning in your life. And he's very good at that. He's been in the game for a long time. But even that feels fake because you know that the underlying motive is the only reason he's on this show. Even if he's sharing all these good things, he's on the show because he's trying to promote his stuff, right? So I mean, like, even I look at that and it's like, damn, bro, like I'm just talking about this in real time. I'm thinking about this in real time, and it's like, whew, like nothing's real. But you can find good content. You can. Like, it's not like there is nothing out there. No, there's great content. Maybe a few years old. Like, I think newer content's probably not as good. I hope this video is a level of something that is good, but also I'm kind of banging the drum of like the negative aspect, like the doom and gloom, pessimistic, like end of the world, doomsday perspective, which I don't like to bang that drum that often. But honestly, I'm just kind of in that mood because I literally just fell into like the trap of social media again. And like, it's the same thing over and over again. And me, myself, I'm not even immune to it. The only way you can possibly not do it is just literally delete everything. But even having Instagram downloaded on your phone, you go in, you check your messages, and then you're just automatically finding yourself back in there. And it just gets worse and it gets worse. Like, oh man, I think the main point of this me talking about this is just to say, like, wake up, man. Like, just wake up to the fact that, like, the whole point is like a guy like Trump or a guy running Trump, like the people above him, the people that you can't see, they are running the world, and the whole point is that they want you to be desensitized. They want you to like be so numb to everything that you don't act on anything. that you just let all of these evil things happen and you just sit there and watch in the background, or you go and you're just passive and you're docile and you're numb to everything. That's the whole point of social media, and that's the whole point of all these algorithms and all these things, that they want you to be numb. So they just show you all this fake stuff that doesn't feel real and all this extreme stuff that makes you desensitized by just consuming so much content like that, and so many people just talking about the severity of all these issues. Even watching this video might make you numb as well. So don't be numb. Understand that these things are bad, and the only way to combat them is through what you do in your life. Like you can't be spending so much time wasting it. You got to spend your life doing as much as you can to help others move in a better direction, to strive yourself, so that hopefully you can get to the point where you're in a position where you can help many more people. And I think what I do, my contribution, I think this show is a solid contribution, even if not a lot of people watch it. Again, just having it online and having this perspective online, hopefully maybe one day someone big finds it and promotes it so that many more people can watch these episodes. Because I think the ultimate solution to all of this, and this is kind of how I'm going to end it, the ultimate solution is to find faith in God. And it's for us to find God. Because I see all of these atheistic idiots, and I'm sorry, but that is the truth, where they are selfish. They think that it's only them. They are the only thing that's in control of their destiny. There is nothing else out there at all. It's only them. You start as dirt, you live your life as dirt, and then when you die, you go back to being dirt. That is not anything that's going to fill you up. Even if you truly believe that, that's not going to help you live a better life. It just makes, to me, it just makes life more meaningless, because it's like, oh, you have no meaning. So it's like, what's the point, right? Whereas the meaning comes from the fact that you were created by a creator, by a God that actually cares about you and loves you. And he sent his teaching to you so that you can read it and rejoice in his words, so you can follow his teaching, so you can live a better life. And that when it's all over, you don't just become dirt again. You have the chance to ascend into an even greater place. Like, whether or not it's true, I think, like, at some point in, like, the philosophical spectrum, whether or not all these things are true doesn't actually matter. I think it's just the way we kind of come together and we live a better life as individuals and as a society. Regardless of whether or not it's true, I personally believe it is very true and that Jesus Christ is Lord, but not a lot of people believe that. And it's not the same perspective for everyone, and I understand that. But to say that it is only you affecting things, and that you have to be, first of all, it would be nice if these atheists would just be like in their own lane. They'd be like, all right, you're an atheist, you're a Christian. That's kind of what I try to do with everything else, except with those atheists that talk all the crap, right? Like, I'm a Christian. I try my best. I spread the word of God. This podcast is me trying to spread the word of God and glorifying God in all that I do, all that I say. But if you don't agree with me, that's fine. Like, I don't really care. But if you're going to be disrespectful to me, well, it's all hands on deck then. You know what I mean? Like, and it is always the atheists that say that. Like, I never have like I don't think I've ever had like a Muslim guy come at me and like hate me. No, I had a Muslim guy on the podcast, believe it or not. And his name was River. And if you haven't watched that one yet, you can watch that one. It was a good episode a couple months ago. But like he's a Muslim, and he's officially like a Muslim guy. Although he understands like the kind of philosophical meaning and the deeper meaning behind Jesus, and he understands that, and we had a great conversation about it. But I've never had a Muslim guy come at me and hate me as much as I've had the atheists. And it's like, I think that is where truly a lot of this BS lies, and a lot of this fakeness and this falseness lies in the fact that there is a significant sector of people that truly believe that there is no higher power, and that is fact, and that you have to spread that through anger, through hating the people that believe in a higher power, calling them crazy, calling them like believing, saying that they believe in fairy tales, saying that they believe in just fakeness, and calling us fake, like us being believers in God, whether it be Christ or it be any other type of religion. And like, I understand that organized religion is a big problem as well, but at the same time, it's like, it is that actual faith and that actual like understanding the principles that gives you a sense of morality. Moral relativism shouldn't exist, because there is a set standard of morals, and there is definitely a line for everyone, right? It's like, you look at killing babies, and it's like, as much as people are desensitized to, you look at what happened on Epstein's Island and you really look deeper into what happened. I think everyone can collectively agree that that was bad, right? And that is evil, right? That is evil. And if you can tell, and if you can say that that is evil, that means that there has to be a good somewhere. What is the good? I find that the good is in a higher power, a creator, in a God that has created us to live this life, and he wants us to live a great life on this planet and prepare us for the life to come. And what really pisses me off is the fact that they are just like, they don't even want to debate in like an intellectual way. They just want to hate you and call you names. And okay, I called them idiots, so you can call me hypocritical, sure. Like, that was my fault. I kind of went too far on that. But they just want to call you names and not actually like come to the table, right? I try my best to at least come to the table and delegate in some way. But when I have people, like when you deny me, when you hate me, that's one thing. When you hate my God, that's a whole other issue, right? And I think that is, a huge reason why this world is where we're at right now. Is people have lost the semblance of a set structure of values, or the values that that so many people have fallen into are fake, don't actually help you achieve a great life, and don't actually contribute to a thriving society. Whereas I believe that the ultimate solution is in godliness, is in belief, and for me it's the Bible, it's in Jesus Christ. It is belief in a higher power that will strengthen you to be able to kind of help society move in a better direction. But the direction it's currently moving in, I'm not saying atheists are the full problem. Obviously not. You see everything that's happening. But I think a big reason is Western society taking God out of the equation and replacing it with nonsense. And that nonsense is leading so many people to destruction, so many people to suicide, to depression, to anxiety. Whereas faith in God is what truly helps you bring you out of all of it, right? You just need to watch a guy like Bryce Crawford speak, right? A guy that wanted to kill himself, but then like begged Jesus to show himself, like to reveal himself. He asked Jesus to take away his anxiety and depression, and he did. And now he preaches with such boldness, and I have such an admiration for him and many of the other people that are spreading the word in such a great way. Just watch him and see the power of God just kind of be made manifest in a guy like him. And like, you know, you don't have to believe in God, but like, you don't have to hate people who do and see them as fundamentally wrong because they do. That's the issue I have with all of these intellectual atheists that are out there being like that. So like, the point of all of this is everything feels fake. I hope that this episode gives you a little bit more of a sense of realness, because this is, I think, again, it's my opinion. It's what I think is going on. It's what I'm seeing based on my own experiences and my own life. So you can take it however way you want, but I truly think that this is the direction we're moving in, and the solution is to just bring it back to the basics. Focus on like your individual life, how you can serve others, help others, grow yourself as a person, grow your faith as a person, put it to God and let God be first instead of any other crap that exists, whether it be like the karma spectrum, or or numerology, or your moral compass, or whatever stupidity, right? Let God be the one that guides your values and your morality, and let your life be made to serve others, to help others, and to be a positive influence to others, and to grow yourself to being better as well. I think that's the only thing we can do. I wish that there was something more. I wish that there was something more fundamental that we can do to combat all of these things that are happening, the fakeness and all of the anger and the hate and the division. I wish that there was something more we can do, but I truly think the only thing you can do is focus on what you can do. You can't change other people. And it's like, he who goes against his will is of the same opinion still. I can just beat the drum about atheists all the time, and I've had way too many episodes talking about that, and way too much hate talking about that. And none of these people are going to change. So at the end of the day, I hope if you're watching this, you have a feeling, a need to change, to do better. And I think another step to that is also to delete social media and focus on what is long lasting and what is true for a longer period of time, which is the Bible, and crack it open, read it, understand some of the wisdom, look in the Proverbs, look in the Gospels, look in the letters of Paul, and find some of the wisdom that was in there and apply those lessons to your life and truly do better. Let that be your influence. Let that be the content you consume, rather than all of this garbage that exists on social media. So I think that's really all you can do. Delete all these social medias, especially if you have Twitter. Like, just what are you doing on Twitter in 2026, dude? Like, get off. Like, it's a mess, right? But I'd say even delete all social medias, even YouTube included. Like, at this point, like, if you're gonna watch this video, like, go follow on Spotify, because honestly, Spotify is probably like a more calm, and even still, I'm seeing Spotify is a little bit, because they're adding a lot more videos, and you see a lot of the same crap that I was talking about earlier in the episode with the scrolling on YouTube and it all feeling fake. It's a little bit on Spotify, but I feel like it's better over there. But I'd say yes, delete all social medias and focus on what you can do in your life to glorify God, to improve yourself, and to help the lives of others. And that's truly all you can do. That's truly all you can do. I wish there was more. I wish there was more, and I wish I had a bigger message of hope. I wish I had a bigger message of peace and joy and positivity. But with the situation that's happening in this world, with everything just feeling so fake and stupid, I think that is really the only thing that we as individuals can do. So that's my message. Just go out and strive to do better. Like, it needs to be as simple as, yeah, just get out and go to the gym consistently, right? Like, get out, and whatever addiction you're dealing with, don't do it. Like, overcome it, right? Be an inspiration to the people around you by going through things that inspire people, right? If you have like a weed addiction or something, you've been addicted for such a long time, you quitting and you going through the process of quitting will actually probably inspire the people around you to do the same. And that's powerful. And human to human connection in that way is powerful. We've lost a lot of that, and it's all been perverted online, of course. That is the main point of this episode, is because it's all kind of as a result of the internet. So be an inspiration to people around you, as many as you possibly can, by the fruits of your life, and doing what you can in your life to serve as many people as you can, and serve God, serve the Lord as much as you can. And that is the first step. I think the first step is your internal circle. And you can't control what's going to happen in the world, whether the wars end up happening and destroying the world. You can't control it. So rather than just sitting in fear and cowering, that's what the devil wants you to do. So don't do that. Instead, go out and strive, and go out to truly help others in many different and many beautiful ways. And whatever happens, happens. And if more people every day can strive to look to the good rather than the evil, I think over time society will become better. But I really don't think that there is another option. And like, it's either like complete and utter world destruction, or we as individuals start with our own household and build from there. And the more people actually start in their own households, we can truly build from there. So I hope whoever's watching until this point, I really hope that this message in some regard, in some way, sits with you. I apologize as always for my little angry rant, let's say. The main point is like, yeah, I'm trying to spread the message of like, you gotta do what you need to do. And it starts with you. It starts with your own heart. It starts with your own household, with the people that's directly around you. And from there you can go and be an influence and help others, and hopefully that can exponentially grow. That's the only hope we have as a society of moving in a better direction. And it's not through atheism. It's not through the lack of a higher power. It is in the strength of the higher power that we draw the strength to truly go and achieve the good and achieve many amazing things. So forgive me for the rant, and forgive me for kind of going overboard in some of these things. But this is just what I'm talking about. I'm literally just talking my talk, and I'm using the show to spread a message that's a little bit different than what a lot of people online are seeming to do. So I hope that it resonates with you in some way, shape, or form. And I hope that you make some sort of a change in your life, however small. You have to start somewhere. I hope that you do, and I hope you feel inspired because of these words that I've said today to go and do something like that and make a change like that. This world is it's an interesting one, and we are really falling into some difficult times right now. And the more people pursue the good, the more chance I think we have of getting out of these times and having the population be saved rather than destroyed in some crazy conflict. But at the end of the day, you can't control it, so you got to focus on what you can do on your own. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I think that is my guidance. That is my advice. That is what I would say in regards to all of these things. It feels so fake, and it feels so dumb and so stupid. And the only way to overcome it is to just cut yourself off from anything to do with the internet and focus on what you can do in your own circle. And hopefully let those influences, let that positivity reverberate and go around to many other people. that hopefully you can change your neighborhood, you can change your town, your city, and eventually, hopefully, the countries, the nations, and the world in general. So that's it, man. That's all I gotta say. Stop fighting other people. Stop hating other people. Stop dividing. And I think I take it to the scripture. And in First Thessalonians, near the end of the, I don't know the exact verse, but near the end of the chapter of the book, Paul writes and he says, "Flee the appearance of all evil," or go away, like avoid the appearance of all evil. So any type of evil and anything that even looks like it could be evil, flee from it, move away from it, cleave to that which is good, right? And in Romans chapter 12, overcome evil with good. That is the only thing we can do as individuals to truly strive for a better society in general and a better culture and a better world. That's all we can do. So strive every day, continue to be disciplined in your ways, and do what you can in your own life. That's all I can say, and glorify God in absolutely all of it. So thank you for watching, man. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry for kind of going a little bit overboard. Me, myself, I am now drained because this is a lot even for me to take in about the whole way the world works and this type of thing. But I hope that this is a positive message, a message of hope, rather than a message of negativity and hatred and all that stuff. And I hope that you can strive in some way to do better in your life. That is all I ask. Just change yourself in one way to help yourself and help the people around you do better in some way. And the more people can do that, the better the world will be. So thank you. Thank you for being here as always. If you enjoyed, I'm not even really going to push it, but like, yeah, if you enjoyed, subscribe as always. But it's like you don't need to subscribe. It's fine. I know that this show is going to be small, and I know that it's probably going to stay small unless some miracle happens, but it's not going to happen. So it's also low-key a little bit of a blessing because I get to say these things and talk about these things freely without any restrictions, whereas I see other people who used to be able to talk about it freely now are not talking about these things freely and have restrictions because it's all down to all this internet garbage and this internet slop that is causing us all to kind of be desensitized and causing us all to be put into a path and a direction to destruction. So it's a good thing, but it's like, I don't ask anything else from you, the viewer. Just help yourself, like improve your life, rather than all the hate that is out there and all the fakeness that is out there. Cleave to that which is good. Truly, look for the good, pursue the good, serve others rather than yourself, and do what you can. Do what you can. Sometimes it's smaller than others, but truly just do what you can, and the more people can do it, the better the world will be. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I will try to make tomorrow a more positive, more like just better episode, really. I'll try my best. Let me know what you thought of it. Obviously, I'm telling you right now, if you're going to comment something in hate, I'm just going to delete it. Like, I don't care. I'm not the guy that wants to perpetuate that hate. Especially if you're an atheist, I'm not even going to give you the light of day. So if you're going to comment, be respectful, right? And we'll talk, right? And we can try and find some of the answers to how to help the world be a better place together. Rather in unity rather than in complete division. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Obviously, but if you're going to comment hate, I'm not interested. It's that simple. So that's all I got to say for today. Tomorrow will be better. I'm going to make sure it's a little bit more positive, but I hope at the end of all of this stuff, you can have a little bit of a semblance of hope rather than fear and hatred and division, that there is hope and there is unity and there is strength and there is courage, there's love, there's joy. Hopefully those feelings and those values are made manifest more so than the negative ones. That is kind of what I hope, but of course, it's not always the case. But just do what you can, man. Do what you can. So I'm done. That's it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode.